Okay, here's today's lesson. It covers chapter 2, section 8 in the Algebra 1 textbook. It's entitled Inverse of a Sum in Simplifying. To start off this morning, what you guys are going to do is you guys are going to go through your spiral review. So what I'd like you to do now is go ahead and pause the video and go ahead and complete the first 10 questions. After you've completed the first 10 questions, go ahead and unpause the video and we'll go through the answers here. Okay, in terms of factoring is the opposite of distributing. So you want to break these down into their prime factors. So I have 3 and x. 12 is going to be 2 times 6. 2 is a prime number. 6 is going to be 2 times 3. Okay. We also have this variable here of a y. So when we factor something out, we're looking for what are the numbers that they have that are the same. In this case, they both have a 3. So the 3 comes out. And I'll cross those out. And then you look to see what's left behind. So we have an x plus, and over here we have 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times y is 4y. And that would be your final answer. For the next one here, we have 2 times a, we have 2 times 3 times b, and then 12 is going to be 2 times 2 times 3. So in terms of what is common, we have a 2. And that's the only factor that all 3 terms have. So the 2 comes out. What's left is the a minus 3b plus 2 times 3 is 6. For the last one, I have a times n, and then we have 2a. The common factor in this case is a, so the a comes out. What's left behind is n plus 2. For the next group, we're combining like terms. So what you're looking for is you're looking for the same letter with the same exponent. When I go for my like terms, I always circle the sign with it. So I have 8b plus 7b minus 1b, which would give me a total of 14 b's altogether. Here I have x squared plus x squared. That means I have 2 of the x squareds. And then I also have plus x. This next one here, how many q's do I have? I have 1 plus 1 more, so I have 2 q's. And then we have a positive t minus 2t. So positive 1 minus 2 is negative 1t. Okay. Working with integers here. So when I'm adding integers together, I just ask myself, do I have more positives or negatives? In this case, I have more negatives. How many more negatives do I have? I have 1.6 or 1 6/10 more negatives. Here, a double negative is a positive, so 2 plus 8 would equal 10. Lastly, multiplying and dividing integers, I always use my triangle here, so positive, negative, negative. This will always help me get the correct sign. So a positive times a positive and a negative equal a negative. So 4 times negative 5 is negative 20, times 3 is negative 60. And then here we have a negative and a negative equals a positive. So negative 54 divided by negative 6 gives me positive 9. Okay. On to today's lesson. So section 2a, inverse of a sum and simplifying. So what we're going to practice today is distributing a negative sign. When you do that, you change the sign of each term in the inside of the parentheses. Okay. So what we have here with the problem is stating is we're taking the opposite of 3 plus x. Okay, so we would say the opposite of 3 is negative 3. The opposite of positive x is negative x. So when I say opposite, what you're doing is you're changing the signs. The positive 3 becomes negative 3, the positive x becomes negative x. Now another way that Manu was talking about doing this is he calls this the ghostly 1. And so what you can do here is you can distribute the negative 1. It has the same effect. So you can say negative 1 times positive 3 is negative 3. Negative 1 times positive x is negative x. Okay, so let's try this one. We're going to take the opposite of everything. Excuse me. So we have 3x minus 2y plus 4. So the opposite of 3x is negative 3x. The opposite of negative 2y is positive 2y. The opposite of positive 4 is negative 4. Again, Manu's method, the ghostly 1, so if you distribute or multiply by negative 1, it will change the sign of all the terms. Okay. Last example here, we have the opposite of 5 minus y. The opposite of 5 is, the opposite of positive 5 is negative 5. The opposite of negative y is positive y. Okay. On to the back here. So now they start to incorporate a little bit more. What they're going to do now is they're going to put a term out in front. All right, so what's this problem saying? So we have 3x minus all of this, so 4x plus 2. So same strategy as before, whether you're more comfortable distributing a negative 1 or if you're more comfortable taking the opposite of everything inside the parentheses, it's your choice. So here I have 3x. Negative 1 times 4x is negative 4x. Negative 1 times positive 2 is negative 2. At this point, what you're doing is you're combining your like terms. So 3x minus 4x is negative 1x. And then we also have a negative 2. Why don't you go ahead and pause the video and try the next example. And when you're ready, go ahead and unpause it. Okay, so example number 5, we have 5y. The opposite of 3y is negative 3y. The opposite of positive 4 is negative 4. Combine your like terms. 5y minus 3y is 2y. And then I have my negative 4. Okay. Example number 6. Again, go ahead and try it and unpause it when you're ready. So here I have 3y minus 2, and now I'm taking the opposite of everything in the parentheses. So the opposite of 2y is negative 2y. The opposite of negative 4 is positive 4. Okay. Combine your like terms. I have 3y minus 2y is is positive 1y. I have more positives than negatives, so that's why it's positive. And then I have negative 2 plus 4. Again, I have more positives. I have 2 more positives. Okay, last example here. So again, pause it, try it, and then unpause it. So here what do we have? We have x minus 3, and then we have parentheses x plus y. Remember, if there's no sign between the number and parentheses, you're going to assume that it's multiplication. When you distribute here, and this is kind of the tricky part, when you distribute, the sign always stays with the number. So I have my x out in front, and now when I distribute, I'm distributing a negative 3. So negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times y is negative 3y. Combine your like terms. 1x minus 3x is negative 2x's, and then I have negative 3y. Okay. The last question here is a challenge. Couple notes here. It says complete each bracket separately. Go from the innermost parentheses and work your way out. Combine both of your answers together to get a final answer. Okay, so give it a shot, see what you can do with it, and then unpause the video. Okay, so I'm going to work in this bracket first. Let's go ahead and tackle this one first. Inside the innermost parentheses, there's nothing I can do here because these are unlike terms. So I have a choice to either multiply or add. Order of operations is going to tell me I'm going to multiply first. So I'm going to distribute the 3, and I'm going to get 3y plus 2 plus 2y. So 3 times y is 3y. 3 times 2, see I made a mistake, 3 times 2 is 6, and then I have my positive 2y. Okay, and that's still all in these brackets here. I have like terms. 3y plus 2y gives me 5y plus 6. Okay. On the other side, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to subtract this other grouping. Again, I cannot subtract these are unlike terms. I have a choice to either subtract or distribute. I'm going to multiply first. So I'm going to say 4 times y is 4y. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. And then I have a negative 3. I'm going to combine my like terms here. So I'd have a 4y. Negative 8 minus 3. Again, the sign stays with it. The sign stays with it is negative 11. And now I'm going to combine my two groupings here. These act just like parentheses. Okay. So how you eliminate parentheses is, again, Manu's little trick here of the ghostly 1. You always assume a 1, and you can distribute that 1 to eliminate the parentheses. So 1 times 5y is 5y. 1 times 6 is positive 6. Here again, you can assume that 1 and distribute. So negative 1 times 4y is negative 4y. Negative 1 times negative 11 is positive 11. Combine your like terms. 5y minus 4y is 1y. Positive 6 plus 11 is positive 17. Okay. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. You can go back and rewind any part of it. Remember, the key to the lesson here is what do you do with the negative out in front of the parentheses? We talked about 2 ways to deal with it. So one way is you can view it as taking the opposite. So the opposite of positive 2x is negative 2x. The opposite of positive 3 is negative 3. Or the second way to handle it is Manu's strategy, where you assume a ghostly 1 and then you distribute. So negative 1 times 2x is negative 2x. Negative 1 times positive 3 is negative 3. And you can see here that you're going to get the same answer either way. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day. Good luck on the homework. I'll see you guys tomorrow.